Hey, my name is Ross, and I would like to share one of my favorite passages found in the Bible. It is found in Matthew 16, and it's coming from Jesus and is being spoken to the disciples. And it goes like this. Then Jesus told his disciples, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul?" And so that's Matthew 24 through 26. And one of my favorite things about this passage is the duality that Jesus creates here of, losing yourself and yet finding it. And the sacrifice that we have to give for him, but the eternal benefits and rewards that comes along with it. And I think that it's just an amazing verse that really gets to the heart of the Christian walk as a whole. That Jesus is telling his disciples, about his upcoming death and resurrection, and in alongside that, he gives them this bit of knowledge that, he's going to take up his cross, but in the same vein, like, we have to do that as well, and that's a sacrifice. That's something we give up in of ourselves to take up a cross. Like, the cross is a very violent and sacrificial metaphor, but in doing so, we don't just go and die in vain. That we find like our true calling and who we are. We forfeit our bodies, but in return we gain our soul back. And like I think it's such a great summary of like the Christian walk. That the Christian walk isn't easy. It's not simple. Most of the time, that there's sacrifice and pain involved, but the reward and the reasons we do this are so evident that we would do it anyways. Like Jesus, sacrificed so much, but he did it anyways, despite the cost of himself. And that's just one of the reasons I love this verse, and I really hold it close to my heart, especially when it comes to ministry. It's a sacrifice to be called into ministry, to love and sacrifice for lots of things that sometimes don't pan out the way you want, especially with students. You love on students, and they can walk away later in life, or they make decisions you don't want them to. But that doesn't mean it wasn't ever worth it, that sacrifice was not worth it in the end, just because there's hurt in the moment. Because that's what we're called to do. It doesn't matter, what the end results are. That's in Jesus' hands. Our call is to take up our cross and follow him wherever that leads. And so just kind of transitioning from that passage, I want to talk about the reason I think I would be a good fit here at Yosemite. And I was just reviewing your website and checking out your like values and your mission statement. And when I was looking at your mission statement, you say that like your call is to go out and love on people where they're at, and then bring them alongside to get them growing and moving forward in the love of Christ. And that is so much of how I feel, especially in student ministry. Like we find students in all walks of life doing all sorts of different things, and a lot of that has to do with their home life, and that's completely out of control. So we have to, really meet them where they're at, because we have no choice in that matter. Like their home lives have dictated so much about their existence up to this point. So we have to be open and welcoming to them in all circumstances. And so that value of that, and as you look at the next generation, that you guys value, the students and young adults, that how important they are to the church, and just to the world as a whole. Like they're a huge need, and we need to love on them well. And so I really like that you guys value that you put energy and resources and feel that calling to that next generation. And I believe I would be the best candidate for this position because, I have that passion for those students in all walks of life. And I think I have the skills necessary to minister to both students, but to the young adults that to love on them, to challenge them in where they're at. I have a huge passion for, as they've gotten kind of past those crazy teenagers and their formative years and now moving forward in like making their identity their own and helping them walk through that. It's not so much an identity crisis, but it's, really foundational like truths and ideas as they get challenged both academically but in the real world. They're out of the school, a lot of them are on their own, and so they have to face a lot more real world problems, and sometimes their faith get challenged in different ways than they've had before. And I wanted to be there and walk alongside them and give them advice and help them through that. So I think I have those abilities and the calling to fit that role well, to be able to minister to both the students, to love on them, welcome them, and to do the same for the young adults. So that's the reason I think I would be the best candidate for this position. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.